Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Going to discuss today version control system, okay, by using Git. So Git and GitHub, these two things we are going to cover in our today's lecture and on Thursday's lecture. Okay, so total 4 hours is allocated for this. So we are going to discuss the Git and GitHub. Okay, so so I think we already met earlier. So my name is Raman, and today uh, the topic which we are going to discuss, this topic is basically related to more related to development team because when they write a code, okay, so for example there is a developer and developer is writing a code. So when they write a code, that code should have a version. Why we need that version? So actually now it is not limited to uh, development team, even though DevOps engineers also use this. Okay, so let me just open my notes. Okay, so let me share this link with you guys on the chat window. Okay, so here you can see Git distributed version control system. Okay, so let us first talk about what is version control system. See, if we talk about the software development life cycle, so first thing which comes into the picture is the development of the software, right, in your mind. So as I mentioned, for example, you are a developer or maybe you are the DevOps engineer and you are writing some scripts and you have written one script to install Java on a particular machine or maybe set of machines. You wrote that script, you wrote that Ansible script and you have implemented it. Now, you have installed Java 1.8 version, but now your development team or maybe production team, they came, okay, there is a problem. We need to run the Java 1.7 instead of 1.8. Then you modify your script and you implemented the 1.7 version. I'm giving very simple example. Okay. Later, again they came, oh no, that was a mistake. That was for some other project. We need to put it on 1.8 only. But you have deleted that code, the code which is basically used for uh, installing 1.8. So you need to write that code, or you can keep it some other place in some folders. But ultimately, you have to do some manual work to maintain that code. And similar ways, such kind of requirement comes 100 times. And to maintaining inside a folder, it is not a easy task, because you need to remember, you need to give some naming conventions. Then you will remember, okay, this is uh, my first version, this is second version, and so on. To overcome such kind of issue, we need to use the version control system. So what is version control system? It tracks your history of the code which you have changed. You have, and it's actually development thing, we cannot make it automate. Okay, so the development work cannot be automated, right? So the the development work is, most of the time it is, you can use some tools to, speed up the process, but you cannot make it automate. Automate in the sense, if I talk about a process in the DevOps, you can make it automate. But software, someone has to write some logic, someone has to think about that, right? It's not a kind of a magic which automatically writes the code. So for that, we need the version control system. So if you see, it is a repository which maintains the changes to the file over the time, so that you can recall a specific version later. It's a repository, it can be thought as a database changes. It contains all the edits and historical snapshots of your project. It is the component of the software configuration management. Okay, so this is some few things which you need to remember as a version control system. Now there are different types of version control system. First version control system is local version control system. So what is local version control system? So for example, you have your system, right? Your laptop. On your laptop, you have installed one version control system, and that particular software helps you to maintain your version control system for your local projects. It is not for the global.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Okay, it is not for the global. Means uh, if you have your local copy of the project, and in the local copy uh, you are you are making some changes, and you want to maintain the version of each and every change on your local system only, then you use the local version control system. So in this diagram, you can see this is the file and this is your local version control. So VCS means version control system. So you are maintaining different versions, version 1, version 2, version 3. An example of local version control system is RCS tool. Second is centralized version control system. In centralized version control system, basically, you are having a central server and all the developers. So the drawback in the local version control system is that if your local system get crashed, you lose your that versions which you have maintained. You cannot share with others. This version control history you cannot share with others, right? And it's kind of a always keeping the local copy, but most of the time the development happens on the on team wise, right? So there will be a team and multiple developers are working. They need to share their code. They need to share their data. So, so in that scenario, this approach is not suitable. Okay. Now, next is the centralized version control system. In the centralized version control system, we are having one central server. Okay. So, for example, in your company, they have one server. They have designated as a version control system. And every developer has to push the code to the centralized server and pull the code from the centralized server. For example, you are running with one project and that project is newly created by you. So you create your project files and push that files to the centralized server, so that once the code is in the centralized server, then once the code is in the centralized server, then other developers, like here there are multiple developers, so they are pushing the code to the centralized version control system. And as soon as these they push the code to the centralized version control system, now it will be shared. Other people can download it. Okay, but the latest and the greatest code should be on the centralized version control system. Okay, so this is how the centralized version control system works. But again, there are some drawbacks. The drawback is that this centralized server is most of the time at the remote location. So for example, you are working in India as a developer and the centralized server is in US. Okay, you have a good bandwidth and everything is fine. But you are not pushing the code very frequently. Very frequently means, for example, you have 10 lines of code, and out of 10 lines of code, you have made changes in the line 1 only. You want to maintain that version. To maintain that version, what you need to do? You need to push that code into the centralized repository. Because it is at remote location, so it's difficult for it is difficult to push the code all the time to the centralized. You most of the time you consolidate your changes, and after that you push the changes to the centralized repository. Because when you are pushing the code, it takes time. That is why, because if you see on the local version control system, it is very fast. The reason is because it is on your local system. But here it takes time. So that is why you are not pushing all the changes in one means in the, you can say, in the incremental order, but you consolidate all the changes and make it as a one version and push it to the centralized version control system. Subversion control system, TFS, Perforce, CVS, these are some tools which is basically used for the centralized version control system. Okay. Now, third type is the distributed version control system. So when we say repo or repository means your code which is residing inside the version control system.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So distributed version control system is collection of local version control system and centralized version control system. In the distributed version control system, developers keep the versions on its local repository, and he or she can push the code to the centralized version control system when it is required. But when he or she is pushing the code to the centralized version control system, at that time all the commits which developer has done on his or her machine, all the commits will push to the centralized version control system. For example, you have 10 lines of code. You made a change in line number 1, but you did not push to the centralized version control system. You committed on your local system, local repository only. Then you have changed similar kind of changes you have done 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and at the end of the day you think that okay, this is my final code, let us push it to the centralized version control system. When you push, all your commits are also get pushed to the centralized version control system. Anyone has any question, any doubt? All right, so now let us see what are the different types of distributed version control systems are available. So one is Git, Bitbucket. So these are the examples of the centralized distributed version control systems. Okay, so very commonly asked question that what is the difference between Git and GitHub? Okay, so Git is the local repository and GitHub is the centralized repository. There is also one more GitLab, so that is also centralized repository. Okay, so on the machines, this dev1, dev2, they are having local repository, which is, so if you see this one, so this is the local repository, which is one. Okay, so local repository, which is having uh, Git installed, and version control system or the centralized, it is GitHub. Okay, so we will discuss all this. So now let us move to the next part. So let us install Git first. How to install Git? What you can do, you can go to the website of Git, gitscm.com. Okay, so if you go to this website, you can find different different installation for Git. You can do it for Windows, you can do it for Mac or Linux. Okay, in Linux it is simple. In the Linux, most of the repository or most of the distributions, they already have these Git installed. If it is not installed, you just need to write yum install Git. Okay, so if you are using Windows, Linux operating system, then you can write something like this: yum install Git. Or if you are using Ubuntu Debian based system, then apt install Git. So I will show you the example on the Windows operating system. but the same kind of same commands you can run it on any operating system which you are using, whether you are using the Mac operating system or your Linux operating system, same commands will be running. Now, so how to install? Just click on this. I'm using Windows. Okay, so you can just click on downloads. 1 minute, let me hide this window. Okay, you need to click on this download Windows version. Once you download it, then it will download the binary or exe file. In the Mac, it will be DMG file. Okay. And once it is downloaded, you just need to install. Installation is very simple. There is no complication while installing it. Okay, I have already installed, so I'm not going to install. Let me just delete one file. Okay, so once you
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
install this, then so it will okay, 1 minute. Okay, so I think it should be installed by this time. Okay, now we will go to the Git configuration. Okay, so what is Git configuration? See, whenever you are installing a Git on your system, Git is basically for the local repository, as I mentioned, right? So you need to do some configuration, some mandatory configuration you need to do. Who is the author, and what is the email of that author? It will not be validated, but you need to mention. For example, it can you are one of the developer who is working on some project. So who has committed the changes? To know that, we need that the author name and the email, right? So these things we get required in the local repository point of view. So so there are two types of configuration. One is global level configuration, one is local level configuration. Let me show with the example. So when you install Git, actually it install a software which is the Git Bash. So let me just take one of the folder. Let me go to temp, and I will take this one. Okay, let me delete this directory and create again. So I'm creating one. Let me remove some of the directories which are not required. Actually, all this. Right. So what I'm doing, I'm creating one directory here. So consider this is my project directory. So if I say my project, I'm taking a scenario where you are starting developing the project on your local repository. So this is my project. Now, first thing what you need to do, you just means if you are using Mac operating system or if you are using Linux operating system, then you need not to follow this step, because you just directly go to that directory. On your terminal, you need to write one command, which is git init. Okay, but if you are using Windows operating system, then what you can do, I'm going inside this my project directory, right click, and you need to click on this git bash here. Okay, so it will open this window. This is the shell. Okay, it is a bash shell for the git, which provides. So that's why I was saying it does not matter which operating system you are using. It provides a shell to you, which is same as your Linux or Mac operating system shell. So if you are using Linux or Mac operating system shell, you create a directory with the mkdir, and then you can go inside that directory. And here, what you need to write, you need to write one command. So, for example, this is my directory, which is my project directory. And this directory, I want to store my project files inside it, and I want to keep the track of its version on my local system. So for that, I will create a local repository. Okay, so first command which you need to write is the git init command. When you write this command, so basically you are saying I'm initializing git. I'm initializing my local repository for this particular project. Okay, I'm creating a local repository for my this project. So you need to write git init command. When you write git init command, so it basically what it will do, it will create one directory .git. You can check here also with ls minus la. So you can see there is .git directory get created. So this directory indicates that your local repository is initialized. Okay, it indicates your local repository is initialized. It means now you can track your files into your local repository. Fine. So here this .git directory get created. Now what I will do next, I will create some file and I will try to save it into my local repository. So before that means when you are creating this repository first time. So as I mentioned, there are two types of configuration files. One is .git config file and second is local config file. And local configuration file having more priority as compared to the global configuration file. So for example, if you make some changes into the global configuration file, like you have defined user.name equals to say DevOps school, then and when you go to your project on the local repository, you say user.name is Raman. So Raman user will be recorded in your configuration or for the local repository, not the global one. So it is always having a high priority, which is on the local side as compared to global. Okay, so this is one thing. Now here I have created this. I have initialized this directory with the git init command. Now you need to write one command, git config hyphen hyphen global. So if you want to create a global configuration file, then you need to write a command git config hyphen hyphen global, and I want to define the author. So how you define the author? User dot name. Say an example, I am saying DevOps school. Okay. So let me give this command on the chat window. So once it is done, then you need to go to your users folder, and here you can see there is a one .git config file. C users and your username. So I'm in my username is this one, Raman Sharma. Right here, one .git config file get created. Let me open with Notepad++. So here you can see I have created user. So user section get created. Dot name equals to whatever the value I had given. So here user section get created. Name is the part of that section. So user dot name equals to DevOps school. So it means if I save something into my Git repository, then it will be recorded with the author name as DevOps school. Same way, if you want to define the email, you can run the same command. So instead of name, I will say email.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.